welcome back to Code with Marley. Today I'm going to show you a few things on how our airplane is going to start going up into the air. So first of all, I'm going to show you a few terms that we're going to use. So, well, actually the text is way too small. Let's find out. So what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to need a few shapes. And I'll show you how those shapes will look. I'll do this in cyan. So the first thing is, wrong color. They both need to be cyan. So what we need is, we definitely need a line that's going straight down. That's 100% sure. And I'm going to make this a little bit bigger because it's not that big. So we're not going to go straight down or straight flat. We're going to go in between. And the reason why we're going like this is, if you look at the airfoil shape, it's similar. Now, you're probably wondering what the airfoil shape is. You can ask your parents. They'll probably know. But the reason why we're not going to use the airfoil shape is because I don't have access to a printer. You guys might not, or a 3D printer either. So anyways, that's why we're going to use a different design. Even though it doesn't work as good as the airfoil shape, but it is definitely very good. So what we're doing here is, if I have a few arrows, let me get a few arrows here. So let's say that we have the wind passing through. The wind's going to be blue. So the wind's passing through, and on the top side, the wind can just pass through perfectly straight. But what about on the bottom side? What happens on the bottom side? Well, what has to happen is the air needs to go around like this. It needs to go around to be able to work. So what's happening is, we're forcing the airfoil, the shape here is forcing the air to go around. To go down. And what happens when something goes down? When the wind goes down? Well, we go up. So that's how that's gonna work. But we can't just have the wind pass through. What if it's not windy? Well, here's the thing. What we're gonna do is, we're gonna have speed. So first of all, it's gonna move through. That way the wind comes, and the wind. So we're on the floor here. On our wing is here, and then because of the speed we can go up. But now let's say we're in the air and we don't want to go any higher. Well, all we need to do is rotate this piece a little bit, which will be done with electronics, of course. All of this will be done, and that will make it flat. But if we go straight, it won't work either. We'll just fall down. So what do we need to do? We're going to do a small dent, okay? I know you can barely see it, but what's happening is that there's a small thing of lift, and we're going to have to still experiment with how high or low it is. And I never have done this before, okay? This is still my first RC plane. All I'm trying to teach you is how to use the IoT cloud, but I'm also trying to teach you a few other things. So anyways, we have the airfoil shape, and it is not really it. But the same things happen though, because all that's happening is, as we move, the wind is pushing it up, which is just great. So, well, guess how we are going to make movement? You can write it down in the comments, but don't cheat. Write it before. So what we're going to do, the answer is that we're going to use a motor, a brushless motor, stepper motor, pretty much whatever motor you have. So I'm going to use a brushless, but you can use whatever you want. You can even use your motorcycle. No, motorcycle motors are not really going to work, because it's going to be too heavy for the cardboard to carry. Even though we are going to end up with a different kind of wood. And we want this thing though still to be light, okay? So anyways, all we're going to actually have is one motor in the front. And that will make this thing go up. Now, what's the answer to how we're going to turn this thing to different directions, like straight up, partly like this, like that, or how? And also, if we're moving down, what we're going to do is, we're going to turn this as if we're still going up and we want to go directly down. we're gonna go just a little bit. We're not gonna go straight, and we're not gonna go like this, because that there's just gonna make us crash. So instead, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go like this, and we're gonna turn our plane's head. Yes, we're gonna go down. We're gonna point it extra down, actually. And this here means we're gonna crash, right? Like, whee! That's what's gonna happen. Plus that there's now an extra force here coming like this, that now it's gonna be able to push it up now instead. So now our stuff is going up, which is just terrible. So what do we need to do? Quite simple, actually. All we need to do is turn our plane with its nose going up. Have you ever noticed that, if you were on a plane, have you ever noticed that instead of the plane pointing down when it wants to land, the nose starts pointing up? That's because if we do that, it'll reduce the amount that it's turning. Plus, it can't really go too high. So, what a real plane can do is about this range. It can't do that much. So now we're going to get into both of the wings. So I'm going to make 2 wings now. So that's the shape of that one, and this is the shape of this one. So first of all, to start going up, we're going to turn this down, and this wing's also going to go down, which means now on both sides of and make sure this is going to be equal. I know this does not look equal. And this makes the plane go up. Now, let's say that we want to go left. So first of all, I'm going to show you a few physics here. So we have this is our left wing, and this here is our left wing, and this is our right wing. I'm going to make the right wing a different color, actually, like pink. So now let me get the wind. So first of all, when we go up, this is what's happening. Round. And that's on both of them, of course. So now, let's say that we turn this one up. Now, what direction is this one going? It's going, well, no, that's not what's happening. This is going to be straight. But on the top, it's going to be going up. Which means what? This side's going to get turned left. Which doesn't mean anything except the fact that our plane is going to tilt to the left. Now, what does that mean? That means our plane is going to turn to the left, which is just great. But now we're just going to flip over upside down because we're tilting to the left too much. So we're going to do this very rapidly. Go up, down. Up, down. Real fast, okay? That's what our plane's going to do. So the next thing is let's say we want to turn right instead. Now this wind is actually pointing down there. No, this is going straight. Oops. This wind is going straight. And this wind is going like this. So that means that now we're, of course, going up still. But now we're going to turn right by turning this up. What does this mean? This is going to happen. This is what's going to happen with the wind. And this is straight, which is great. Now we have our straight. Now we're going to turn to the right, right? We're going to tilt to the right. And that means we're going to turn to the right. Now I know this might be a little complicated, but you'll understand it. But now let's say that we're going backwards when we want to turn. That means that everything's going to be reversed, even though we're not going to ever do that. Anyways, even if you do want to go backwards, we'd have to turn it reverse. That's what I'm trying to say. But for now, I'm just going to remove the wind, and I'm going to do something with the tail, N2. So we're going to have another one, which is going to be brown. First of all, this is going to be like this. And first of all, so right away, the wind is now gonna, and this is actually tilted. So what's really happening is that the wind can now pass through freely. So the wind can go right through. Now, let's say that we're turning our piece, which now means I can't really turn it, but if I go into 3D mode, that would pretty much be looking like this. That's gonna be brown. Oh no, I'm not gonna change that sign though for now. There we go. So this is really what's happening back here. So we want to turn, which means we're gonna have to turn this piece to the right. So first of all, this is straight, which means the wind can pass through and make this blue. So now let's say that we're turning it to the right. So this is now going to the right. I know you can't really see it, but it's now turned to the right, which means that okay, I'm just gonna leave the tail for another video, okay? Because we've already got through our 10 minutes. So anyways, you understand what I'm trying to say, right? That the airfoil shape is kind of like, is similar to this, which means that, oh, that's way too slanted, which means that our wind can now freely, the top is straight, and this here creates lift. You understand that, what I'm trying to say? Good. So, if you do not understand still, please rewatch the video, or ask your mom and dad if you can look up another video all about the airfoil shape, or how to generate lift with it. But, I hope you get the idea on how this shape works. See you guys next time. Bye!